Alright, so welcome to Rogue Wednesday. Today, the deck I want to really showcase, try out, is a Prime Speaker Zegana deck. Prime Speaker Zegana is one of my favorite commanders. I just really like her. Um, just, it's so awesome to draw a whole bunch of cards. Like, what's not to like with a whole bunch of cards? So basically for this deck, what I did is I took a Nissa deck, and I took out Nissa and I put Nissa over here into the regular cards. And then I took out some of the non-creature ramp and some of the non-creature land destruction and some of the top-end creatures that were lower impact, because if you can draw cards and have disruption to get your spells through, I figured that you probably don't need as many of the top-end creatures, and you don't need as much of the land destruction if you have a different kind of disruption. And it can probably, sacrifice a little bit of ramp. You don't want to cut too much ramp, but I cut a little bit of ramp. And I added in some counter spells. I tried mostly the really efficient counter spells. There's a whole bunch of 1 mana counter spells here. And then there's regular counter spell. And I don't know if Force of Will is going to be very good. There aren't that many blue cards, so that one might not make the cut unless I add more blue cards. But I don't know what else to cut from the green side. But the fact that it can be free is amazing. And you can draw a bunch of cards with Prime Speaker, negating the card disadvantage. And then I added a couple of card draw spells that are really efficient. I took Harmonize out and I replaced it straight for Factor Fiction. And then you got, Imprison the Moon is another really good removal spell that just neuters commanders. It's really good for that. And, Into the Royal can be pretty awesome. And Cyclonic Rift can wrath a board. Other than that, it's just, it's like a Nissa deck plus blue. And then instead of this slow card advantage you get from Nissa, you can just refill your hand in one swoop with Prime Speaker. But you don't necessarily have to cast Prime Speaker if you can't. But it is in blue, or in green, so there's a lot of different ways that you can get Cavernous Souls. And then you can just name Wizard, and then you're good. And then there is another thing you have to know about, is that, so if you're playing against black or other removal-based strategies, they can remove your best creature in response to you casting Prime Speaker, and then she won't get as many counters. If you're playing against removal heavy, you probably want to have at least 2 creatures that have 3 power or more, because less than 4 power on her and less than 4 cards is not a good rate for 6 mana. Maybe 3's alright, but it's really kind of lackluster. 4's fine, and if they can only remove 1, if they remove her in response to her trigger, you still get all of the cards. It counts her power at the time that the ability goes on the stack. If they kill her in response, it kills her, but you get all the cards. So that doesn't work as well. I've had a few people try it in regular commander matches, in higher level 1v1 commander. I would expect people to know how that interaction works a little better, and maybe not go for it, but they will know that if they kill your best creature, then you might not get as many counters. So pay attention to that. That's the other thing you have to worry about besides counter spells. But I did a little bit of testing, and I was able to resolve her pretty easily. And when you can, it is amazing. And the deck. I only tried a few games. I don't want to. I want to kind of keep it a surprise for myself, and still have some room to tweak the deck and make improvements and that kind of thing. But from what I tested, it seemed really good. It seemed like it was a really efficient deck. Like, the green side of it is, gravy. Like, it's all, we know that works pretty well. And then adding, most of these blue spells are really, really efficient and really good at what they do. So the synergy seems to work together well. So without further ado, I'm going to go and I'm going to test it out. Seems like a keepable hand. Who are we playing against? Bio Smasher Thrasios. So that should be interesting. So, I get to test it right away against a very viable archetype. Alright, he hasn't Thoughtseized us yet. So, we're a ways from that Ulamog. Tireless Tracker is really good against grindy matchups. We had a few ways to deal with Vial Smasher. More than if we were just in green. Alright, there's the Thrasios. Oh, Flusterstorm is interesting. Actually, we can... I don't know if he's going to do anything that requires us to Flusterstorm, but we might as get a Tropical Island anyways. I guess we can protect our Tireless Tracker drop with it. Ooh. I cannot do anything about that. I guess we can make Tireless Tracker big enough. Do we worry about... I think I do. We can do that at least. Might eventually be able to make it so he has to leave the true name back to deal with a... He could just kill it. Oh, I can't do anything about that, can I? That's not an instant or sorcery. At least we get to draw a card. Or, well, make a clue. Doesn't bode particularly well for us. Alright. I think we Fact-to-Fiction over cracking the clue. Maybe I shouldn't let's get rid of Spell Snare. Just in case. It's a lot of gas. We've actually already got 4 card types in our graveyard. Let's go for this one. It's a pretty thin margin, but it's an extra card. Oh, I didn't draw a land, did I? Can we draw a land this turn? There we go. Alright, hopefully he doesn't have a counterspell. Alright. that one through. So we definitely want Ayabugan and Temple of the False God. So I think that's the way we come back from this. He can sacrifice Liliana to get rid of it. Let's get rid of this elf. He might just have a removal spell. I don't have any mana up this time to protect it. Alright, he ponders. I think we clearly go for Liliana and Vile Smasher. Do we have enough? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't have enough to Flusterstorm unless we draw a land. But we do have enough to Ulamog unless he destroys one of our lands. If he does, it's probably Ayabugan. Alright, we drew a land. I don't think that gets a green or a blue any longer. So let's sack it now. Yeah, it doesn't get a, there's no more blue lands. Now let's swing. Get 2 more lands. And then do we traverse? I don't think we traverse yet. We don't need to. Let's get Cavern of Souls and Homeward Path just in case. Let's name Wizard. Okay. You can block with True Name, but 5 damage still gets through. Strange that he hasn't been attacking me with True Name. Strange that he decides to now. Is he gonna Wrath? A Toxic Deluge would cost a fortune. Looks like he's Toxic Deluging for 10. Yep. Alright, I don't mind that one bit. We got Flusterstorm to protect our Traverse. Alright. What do we want? Can I cast Emrakul? It's 9? Yeah, I can cast it, right? Because I got 2 lands last turn. It's kind of expensive, though. Cost me all of my mana. Or I could just World Breaker him. It's still pretty good. I think I like World Breaker quite a bit. Alright, he gives me the GG. Alright, so, yeah, it seemed like we were way behind. Managed to pull that one out. We're on the draw. This is weird mana. Thrasios and Timna, that's an interesting one. One mulligan. One land. One land, no ramp. I think I have to mulligan again. Let's keep it. Put that on the bottom and pray for a forest. Not a forest. Still not a forest. There's more forest in the deck than islands by quite a bit. Lifecrafter Bestiary is an interesting card that I maybe would want in my deck. Wow, that's going deep. Yeah, it is really good. And it's really good against those grindy matchups where they're looking to counter all your spells because you can just draw a card. Alright. That was not even kind of close. If I had drawn a forest, it might have been close. I don't know, he had a really good hand. Hopefully, I wouldn't mind playing him again. Oh, we got a game. Alright. Making this mana mace look really bad. Alright, this is definitely keepable. Put that to the bottom. Don't really need it. What are we playing against? Shram. Alright. Playing that before the Shram, huh? Non-creature spell. That's pretty good. He's going to cast Shram this turn, so I don't think I need to hold it up. I can just go for this Cultivate. Forest Island. Makes no real difference which one we put down. Well, thank you. I do what I can. I don't have all the foils, but I have a lot of foils. Sometimes the premiums are just too... Alright, he's got a free one. He's got a couple of free ones. There are only so many free ones. He actually is pretty lucky to draw. Then he gets to equip them for free? That's just ridiculous. Alright. Need to draw something. That's not exactly what I'd call something. I don't love the idea of using Cyclonic Rift for minimal value. If there's a good equipment, though, that I can counter, I don't hate that. Don't really care about that. So I got 5 mana of the 7 I need to activate Ugin. I don't know how much that equipment matters. I might have wanted to wait for a sword or something. I don't know. I could Prime Speaker for 2 cards. I don't know if I have many other options here. I'm going to do it. I hate it. Need 2 blue mana. Alright, it's actually... Lignify is pretty good. No, I can't. It's you don't control. So, Cyclonic can only bring things you don't control to your hand. What? Why are... He just played a creature enchantment before playing Sram. To tap a creature I wouldn't have blocked with. So Lignify only drops this by 2. I could just... If I draw a land, I could just Cyclonic everything, but then he draws a bunch of cards when he replays everything. I could just Cyclonic the Pure Steel, which actually sounds a little better. Saves me from a bunch of damage. At least this isn't commander damage. I guess I might have considered. Alright, we didn't exactly draw a land, but that counts. That's tapped, so I don't want to pay 2 life. I want to play this Ancestral, but I think I need to leave up Cyclonic Rift. I do have enough mana next turn to Eye of Ugin. Do I care about Cyclonic Rift? I could just block with Prime Speaker. Right. I can Cyclonic Rift, Pure Steel, and Lignify SRAM. SRAM's the most problematic. He still counts as a commander, so if you put a bunch of equipment on it. This deck is awful if you have removal, but if you don't have removal, it's pretty good. Oh, I can't really block with Prime Speaker. I don't know if it counts as exiled. I'm going to return it. Saves me a lot of life. I'm at 17. No, he has to discard a card. It's clearly not Pure Steel Paladin. I don't know if Lignify does anything. I do have 7 mana. I could just play the Eye of Ugin and say go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't really block with the Elvish Mystic then. I have to block with Prime Speaker, and I don't know if the Godsend thing, if exiling Prime Speaker makes it so I can't cast it. I mean, I guess if I have an Ulamog, it doesn't really matter. But I wouldn't mind drawing 11 cards post Ulamog. Alright, you can equip everything. I'm going to block. And we'll just find out how Godsend works with the command zone. Still doesn't have trample. Double strike, huh? Right. Well, the real problem is the free equipping with the Pure Steel Paladin. Otherwise, like, double strike's okay. I guess you can move everything over. it's clearly a Ulamog here. Wasteland does nothing. And I'm pretty sure it's these two guys. And double strike actually doesn't matter against an indestructible blocker. Unless he gives it trample somehow. SRAM costs 4 mana now. But like I said, the most important part is that he can't equip all these things. He can only, and that one's 1, that one's 3, 2, 3, 1. So he can equip a couple of them. Okay, he plays land. Alright, he's equipping. Oh. Godsend does work, doesn't it? Oh, that I forgot about. Well, I'm not blocking then. Wow, speak of Satan. I didn't actually say anything about... I probably shouldn't have tapped that blue mana. Let's get rid of Godsend. Let's play that. We've seen all these cards, so I don't need that open anymore. And I don't know, as I care enough to Lignify? Let's not worry about Lignify. Maybe should have attacked. I kind of do need to be able to block. Hi, honey. What's up?
Last text. Should I suggest what we used?
No. I think it was...
Should I tell her anyway so that she can at least, so we can tell her that to avoid them?
I don't remember the name of them. I'd have to look it up. It was North Star.
North Star. I mean, like, the movers were fine, and the customer service rep was good, but the original dude who sold us on it and quoted us and shit, he...
Yeah. Is she moving cross country? Or just...
Well, I mean, she did just get approved for a job in Texas.
Oh, I see, yeah. Tell her no matter who she uses to move, that she needs to get everything they say in writing exactly as they say it.
Whatever they say in writing?
Whatever they say. Anything they say. Anything they promise you, get it in writing. Or it doesn't matter. Alright, that means I can't lignify him. Alright, that's a thing. I mean, I guess we draw 11.
I know he left out information initially, but did he straight up like lie about anything?
Yeah, he represented a lot of
Oh,
things.
misrepresented this word.
Yeah. Well, that's a thing. Let's play. Command tower. Do that. Let's make it blue. Do we want to cast anything else, or just discard a bunch of cards? Got Daze up. Got Force of Will up. I can cast something. You can't make something trample, so let's just play a Security Tribal. There is a blocker. And then I think we do attack this turn. Prime Speaker is so good. Oh, that was such, like, draw 11. Put an 11/11 in play. If he had a swords or something, he would have played it by now. Alright, what do we discard? I guess some lands are fine. Probably want to fetch land just cause. And Priest of Titania is too slow. And I hope it wasn't too greedy to attack with the Ulamog. Puts him on a 3-turn clock if he doesn't block. Like, he has to block before 3 turns, and then a 4-turn clock total. So 3 more turns. His library goes bye-bye. We do have just Daze and Force of Will. So it's hard to go wrong there. This is where I said Force of Will, like I was wondering if there were enough blue cards, but because you can draw so many cards with Prime Speaker, like it just kind of negates. Alright. It's a good card. Not super worried about it. More worried about an equipment. Alright, we can just daze the Godsend, right? And if he plays land, then we can force it. Nope, he's not going to play a land. He draws a card, but I just drew 11 cards. I think we've actually drawn about an equal number of cards. I've just exiled 20 of his cards from his graveyard. Oh. You can give him protection, huh? Oh, that's not good. So, am I dead? Oh. Am I just... I'm dead, aren't I? I'll block that, just to spite him. I can't block the double striker. I should have lignified him. It was a close one. I didn't see that one coming. I thought I had everything covered with a counter spell. So it was greedy to attack with the Ulamog. Duly noted. I probably could have, I don't know. Could have waited a turn and attacked with a Prime Speaker. I was winning the long game. I think the cards in my deck are much better than the cards overall in his deck. He's got a few good equipments, but you have to just jam your deck full of a bunch of junk equipments to make that deck work. Is this the same guy? I think this is the same guy. Nope. Why am I... let's keep. Even a dead bird lets us cast Nature's Lore next turn. Do I play the land first so I can daze if he... I did that wrong anyways, but... Start making some 3/3s. This is what's really nice about this deck, is you can protect all your stuff with counter spells. We can make a 3/3, put down a wizard cavern. I'd rather... guess we're dazing by putting the tropical back up if we have to. Make a 3/3. That allows us to make a 4/4 Prime Speaker on turn 4. It's pretty good. I think that's good. And that's even if he would have to remove Grook and one of our mana elves in order to stop us. Can't be countered. And then we can untap some lands if we draw something good. Oh, we drew something kind of good. We only have one card type for this thing. I think we still want to untap lands. That was the wrong land. I wanted to untap this land. We still have the bird. Do I want to Utopia Sprawl this thing? Blue, red, white has... I mean, you could bounce a land with Boomerang or something like that. That'd be kind of weird. Can Beast Within Shuyun? Not sure what he tapped and untapped for. We have Daze and Flusterstorm. Neither of which are particularly great against 5 mana. Unless you cast something really big. I guess we could just Cyclonic him. And swing for a bunch of damage. Alright, you got it. Cyclonic set him back far enough? Let's attack with these things. Okay. I actively want you to do that. Killing Prime Speaker is kind of like killing Maelstrom Wanderer. Like, it's not... It doesn't always turn out the way you want it to. We have 8 mana right here. Or, you know, like... I don't think he's going to be blocking here. So let's tap that. Tap that for blue. Tap that for green. Untap 2 target lands. This one and this one. Thank you for letting me draw 4 more cards. Well, that's outstanding. I think rather than risk it, and because I'm discarding anyways, let's go ahead and Beast Within him on my turn. He might kill Prime Speaker and then attack Guruk. Doesn't kill it. Alright, and then we don't have to discard anything. If he finds a way to kill it, oh well. I mean, I guess we're not casting Emrakul next turn. The Beast token makes Cyclonic Rift a little better. This forest is pimp. is he casting? Maybe I should have kept mana up? I don't know. Alright. Actually, should I just daze that? Does it matter? He doesn't draw a card. I kind of want to play a land next turn. He does 4 damage to me, unless he has a free spell or something. I don't think I'm that worried about it. He's not giving it double strike. Where's my mouse? Being funky. Okay, there we go. I guess he could go at Garruk. I didn't think about that. Yeah, he's going at Garruk. Alright, I will block. Now both of our commanders are more expensive. The difference is that I can pay for my commander. Yes, please. Alright. Put these lands on top and shuffle them away. I'll pay 2 life, that's fine. I don't know if I need to or not, but whatever. Let's do that because we will sack that. Let's do that. Yes, please. Okay, we win. I figured as much. Usually Emrakul just ends the game. Play first. Playing against Laurel. This hand looks keepable. He might kill a bird. In which case, we need another land for this. I guess either way we need another land for the Sky Shroud. Should probably auto-yield to that. Alright, he's not killing a bird yet. Do I use the Fierce Empath now while I don't know necessarily what I need? You can't counter it. Just uses my mana. I already have the World Breaker. Oblivion Sower is probably really good. We'll grab that. So he's at 2 mana, and we're looking to cast Sky Shroud Claim into Oblivion Sower. Hopefully he can't interfere with that, but there's nothing I can do. Okay, he plays a Dark Confidant. So we're clearly playing Sky Shroud Claim. Let's get a Tropical Island. only need one of them untapped. Clearly not going to block with the Dark Confidant. Alright, what's he reveal? Force of Will. Alright. He can force her. Okay. Do we want World Breaker or Oblivion Sower to stick? We can damage his lands. What's he got in mind here? Or 7. Go for his black land. Yeah. He can counter it all he wants. He just demonic tutored though, so I don't know if he's going. Looks like he's forcing it. It's fine. I don't have a waste in the deck. I have a lot of colorless lands. Utility lands and whatnot. So I might be able to get that back at some point. I wonder what he tutored for. So, seen that, seen that. I probably, alright. Oh, that gets colorless mana. If we hit 2 lands, we can just do that. I don't know what the odds of hitting 2 lands are. Oh. Enough. Alright. So he's got a couple planes here. Flips an island. I like these island arts. Those are pretty cool. They're a little weird though. They remind me of the card Rushing River. Yeah. They remind me of that art. Alright, that's interesting. Do I want to return? Yeah, I guess it's basically free to return it, since he's just destroying all the lands anyways. Can we draw a forest? No. He's got a ton of lands in his hand. Forest would let this play this traverse. If you don't yet have 4 card types, but for getting a land with it's probably good enough. Where'd my chat go? There it is. Alright, looks like he's going to Toxic Deluge. Or that. I wasn't expecting Armageddon. Had to go for it. Okay, he didn't buy that back. This isn't going well. He's gonna play his commander, I imagine. Clearly we get a forest. And that doesn't do a lot. I wonder if Cyclonic Rift is the card I cut. It's good in some situations. Alright, he took the Enlightened Tutor and the Impulse. Alright, this is over. I'll give him a GG. I don't know what he's getting, but can't possibly be good for me. Lost to that Armageddon. It's too bad. It's him again. So we get a chance to redeem ourselves. Let's see if we can actually redeem ourselves. Oh, he's playing Sirach now. This looks keepable. Am I playing? I am. Okay. Important to know. Don't want to Green Sun Zenith for 0 if Dryad Arbor's not in your deck. Alright, he fluster storms it. It's the one thing I couldn't counter. Which sucks because we return away from an acidic slime. I suspect that he might have picked a deck that he thought would be good against ours, knowing what we were playing. We'll see. I mean, it's interesting to know. I don't mind knowing if a deck's, if we're soft to a deck. It's kind of what we're looking for. And it's just the tournament practice rooms, so there's nothing's really on the line. All right. Not running Farseek, actually. Do I wait and keep Dispel up? I think I do. No, I should have attacked. I don't know if that one life is really going to make a matter or make a difference. He's 1 mana off, so we had the 2 counter spells. Nope. Running out of gas. I kind of needed that to resolve. I thought our 2 counter spells might help. I'm going to attempt a Prime Speaker for 2. It's especially when it doesn't do anything. Alright. So, he picked the 3. Alright, he didn't pick Relzeric. He picked Nissa. We only have one blue mana. Take that. Alright. I'm just drawing nothing but lands. Nothing but lands. Kind of want that in my graveyard. He knows I have the Traverse, though. So either he'll eat the acidic slime, or he'll just redirect it to my Bird of Paradise. Making it a mountain. So now I can't cast Days even, because I have no islands. Quite a few. I think I have 4 basic islands in the deck. We take 2. I don't think I'm ever resolving a spell. Iovogan is... I'm just going to move on. This isn't fun. I think we lose this game 9 times out of 10, and that's the information I'm looking to gain. So we just move on to the next game. We lose against Sirach. I don't think there's any winning against Sirach. Maybe if we had a good draw or something like that, enough disruption. I guess we can try it one more time. Find out. We play first. Oh, back to a Loro. I can't. This Flooded Grove has created a lot of really awkward starting hands. I'd rather have a land. Just in case he wastelands me, because like I don't have a basic. If I had a basic forest, I might have kept the Utopia Sprawl. We can force him to counter the Acid Moss. Alright, it did not get countered. That's outstanding. Puts us pretty far ahead. Especially since he didn't play a land. Tithe, okay. Did you still not play land? That was a mess up in his part. It's a pretty costly one. Yeah, he says oops. I might have wanted to beast within a land on his end step. I was thinking about it, and then I ended up not leaving the elf open to do that. Alright. Not an excess. There's a few graveyard strategies, but nothing super important. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. It seems kind of crazy, but I could beast within the elf. And then Prime Speaker for 4 while he's tapped out. I don't know if that's right, but trading 1 for all that seems pretty good. Although our draw wasn't particularly great. We can cast almost anything we draw. The Ancestral's pretty good. Alright, well we can't trigger her. We can counter everything but Supreme Verdict, though. Putting him on a pretty fast clock. I mean, he's gaining 2 every turn. Alright, well, E-Witness does nothing. Uh, 15, 8, or 5, 8, 12, 13, 14. Enough to kill him next turn. Oh no, he gains 2 life, so not quite enough to kill him next turn. So maybe I should have held the witness. Alright, so we won. I think in general, this deck's going to be good against the Aloro deck. That Armageddon, that one was bad. But in general. Alright, I got another game with this Prime Speakers Zegana deck. I'm on the draw. This hand is awful. Mostly just the land situation. The rest of it looks great. There's just no... If one of these cards were a forest, it might be pretty good. So Thrasios and guy that makes things not block. Alright. Seems marginally keepable. I think I do want that. It's a little awkward. That's strange. Maybe he's looking to kill a bird or an elf. He took 2 damage. The interesting part is, do I want a crop rotation and get something that makes this faster? Oh, he wants to enlighten tutor. For Sylvan Library? Sylvan Library is so good. Earthcraft. Interesting. So that suggests some sort of crazy mana thing going on. I don't think I do crop rotation yet. Looks like he's just going for a lot of mana. Alright, if we crop rotation into turn, we can cast that Sky Shroud Claim next turn, and then I don't know what else. Are either of these elves? Neither of those are elves. Okay. And so we'll tap this land for mana, just in case he dazes me or something. We'll get an Ancient Tomb. I'm going to lignify that. Just because he can already create a ton of mana. Flanking? This thing has flanking? I never noticed that before. I guess it's better than banding. Creatures your opponent control without flying or reach can't block creatures with power 2 or less. So I can't block Thrasios. Alright. Ooh. So you can sack this and get something real. This is 7 or more lands. And now he hits 6 next turn. You got for 3. I don't think he can hit my land with a creature for 3 mana. Wouldn't mind a World Breaker. I can't cast a World Breaker. Renegade Rallier. Getting back Windswept Heath. Turn it to the battlefield. And getting a Dryad Arbor. Okay. I maybe should have played a land first. He's down to 2 cards. But this Birthing Pot is like an endless source of card advantage. Alright, he's going to name Prime Speaker. Because why wouldn't he? I think if I play Garruk, it just dies. anticipated being able to cast Prime Speaker next turn. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I could just sack this and draw a card. Do we do that? I think I do. There's a lot of good things I can draw. I still have 7, so if I draw an Eldrazi, I've got enough to cast. Well, that's not good. Although most of my stuff is creatures. That Meddling Mage on Prime Speaker basically ended it for me. I don't think there's anything I can do here. I think I'm gonna just move on. Play another game. Alright, I got the same player. I am on the draw. I think I keep this. Is he playing the same deck? My mouse is still being weird. Alright. Let's play the Search for Tomorrow. Not sure the order I want to play everything in. There's a lot of good cards in my deck here. I don't know what I want to get with Sylvan Scrying. Oh, he drew that naturally, man. That's a big old bummer. Let's we definitely want to Utopia Sprawl this thing. Probably say blue. So we get a nice mix of lands. And then Sylvan Scrying. I don't know what for. Ayavugan, because we can Sky Shroud claim next turn. Let's get Ayavugan. Just using up my mana. It's like earlier than we need the Ayavugan, but keeps my mana utilized so that when I can play the Ayavugan, I need to stifle something, I'm actually just going to get a basic forest. Just made a ton of mana. Alright. And he gets a Rebel Arc. Doesn't do anything right now. I guess I could have stifled that. I don't think it really matters. A little premature to be doing anything like that. Sometimes you can get real card advantage from a stifle. That's what's nice about having already cast the Sylvan Scrying. Is now I have 7 mana easily open. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8. I wonder if I just go for World Breaker. Because it can block everything. Whereas Ulamog cannot. What do you got for 6 mana? Prime time? Oh, it's 7 mana, so Green Sun Zenith. I think that counts as a worthwhile stifle trigger. I can't do anything about... Because of them other runes, I can't kill the prime time. I can hit his lands and block it. I guess I can... Can I cast... Emrakul? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just barely, right? 'Cause it's... Then I can attack with prime time, fail to find, do a bunch of other junk. Rebel Arc for no value, potentially. Oh, so we can swords. Mom? It's at 5 mana. We need one more. Alright, that felt pretty good. Yeah, he said ouch. I don't know if he said ouch even before all of that happened. Swords the bomb. Revel Arc for no value. Prime time in swing it, get nothing into Emrakul, and then Tech Edge his own land. He's got a meddling mage, which he can now name. Oh, he got something else? Courser. He can name Primetime if he wants to. Oh, we got Prime Speaker. He's not going to name Primetime. He doesn't know I have it in my hand. He'll name Prime Speaker. Yeah. I considered casting that and naming something he had in his hand. Can't block these. Oh, that's interesting. How much mana do I have? Not enough to do both. He's out of cards, though, and he's just getting an elf anyways. I think I want Primetime. Go with Temple and Homeward Path just in case. And then swing with the Spaghetti Monster. Alright, so his only card in hand is an elf. We can't block anything. I guess he can, yeah, you can use that ability twice potentially. Maybe I should have considered that. Plus, Earthcraft is just slow as sin. Although he's now getting a whole bunch of lands. Alright. Is he dead? Are you dead? You needed to leave something back. I guess we get... Yeah. Sanctum. And Eldrazi Temple. And he's dead. Alright, so that's... We got a really fast start, and that's how we win that one. We went over the top of him. This is an interesting deck, though. He got Earthcraft both times, so that made it harder. All right, we got another game. We're on the play. This hand looks pretty good. Playing against a zombie. Which cost a lot more mana than, well, cost less mana than our commander, but cost a lot of mana. And we're already ramping pretty hard. I don't think I want to eat Witness for a Windswept Heath anytime particularly soon. Alright, a 1/1, huh? Alright, that's a card. We're a ways from casting that. Let's get a forest. I don't want to attack. I might end up having to Prime Speaker for 2. I guess we could do it for 3. Maybe we do want to E-Witness. That actually creates mana. Yeah, let's do this crazy thing. What do we got more of? I think I still want a forest. So that's 6, 7 next turn. If he spends all his mana, we can Prime Speaker for 3. That's pretty good. That's not horrible. And that kind of makes up for the... I mean, it's... I guess we're drawing for 2 because we kind of spewed value on the E-Witness. So maybe it would have been about the same. At least we get a bigger creature. Alright, well. That prohibits that. And he knows full well what I'm looking to do. Counterspell's pretty good. And we do have enough mana next turn to play around the wizard replica. You can't cast a zombie and hold up the wizard replica. Alright, that doesn't do anything. Yeah, I didn't think he wanted to attack there. So, we're at 8 next turn. if he has a 2-mana counter spell, it's not really 1-mana counter spells that counter creatures. I guess if he four spiked it, and then we want all of this. Ah, shoot! I should have. Well, no, he can just counter it anyways. All right. Pretty sure we can play Ulamog playing around all these things. Oh, he's milling himself. Oh no, he milled me. And there goes Sanctum of Union. I think we just target lands with Ulamog. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Did I add that up wrong? I want to actually keep my Ulamog. He can double block if he wants to. I didn't think he would want to. It's like he's forgetting about this thing. Maybe he's not. I counter is on me like a million times. Seems good. That's pretty good. I don't really care about his dorks. Yeah, no. Once again, yeah. I was going to say he can double block, and I'd be more than happy to trade. But it's just over.